Good day, it's Talisa at DIY Living by Talisa Lindsay. We're going to make a Dollar Tree cloche today for under $4. The items you're going to need is I just used a sandpaper to rough up the bottom and the Kindle stick that I had on hand. You're going to use Mod Podge, paint, a cutout of a printout that you can get for free on Google or wherever you can find for lemon printouts. And I will be using the Mod Podge on the image itself on the front, doing a good coverage on it, but not enough that's going to rip the paper. And then you're going to place it on and then do the back of it just to seal it on to the plate. Here I was just positioning the lemons, trying to decide where I would like to have them on the plate itself without going over the edge. And I'm flipping the plate over just to see placement of where I would like to have it. I wanted to have one large lemon print in the center. And then I had cut the other lemons, kind of putting it in like around the edge of the plate. So it would have a different pattern, but still a beautiful edging to it. The only thing I want to suggest with yours, if you're going to do lemons, there's different types of styles that you can find on the internet that you can get for free printables. So just go with your flavor. And I also wound up cutting these in half just because it wasn't going to fit or go in the direction I wanted. It was too large. So I, again, just adding the last bit of Mod Podge to it, placing it. As you can see the pattern, I was going around the edge. And then sealing it, wiping any excess off around the edges so it wouldn't be a big glob of glue that was just there. I here was going to start off with the white paint, but decided I wanted a little bit darker base, so I got the black chalk paint. This particular one I'm using came from the Dollar General. It's over in the craft section. The plates candlestick also came from the Dollar Tree. So if you're looking for that, that's what I used for the stand. Now the reason I chose to go with black as a base is I wanted to add some white over the top of it, giving it a little bit of a rustic farmhouse flair. And then I also added some onto the plate itself, wiping the brush off because I had a little bit more than I wanted. This is the first time I tried this pattern, and I will have to say I did like it, but I think that there were some areas I was a little bit more heavier with the black than others. So if I had to do it all over again, I would honestly say I think I would try just going with all white as my base, just to see how that looked. But I'm still happy it's a different look, and that's what it's about, just trying to be creative and do something different, and that's what I was doing, just dry brushing on the excess, but it's not the final results. Now you can see through the glass how I had the black that was popping through just a little bit, but didn't realize, honestly, it was going to be a whole lot when I put that white paint over the top. Now you can see I'm using the Waverly white chalk paint. And I was trying to get a little bit of the heaviness of the black off. And went back to painting with more of the chalk paint just so I could see the look. Now for this, I did wind up putting a generous amount of the chalk paint on, just because I did want to seal also the lemons that were there. I wanted to have a little bit more of a pop, being that black is such a dominant color. That way it would, I think, contrast a little bit better. Now, being that this was going to be just a cloche, or you can use it as a serving tray, keep in mind that you will need to seal it, and you will very likely not be able to hand wash it or dishwasher safe. You will need to get something to seal it, where if you're going to do that, you can. But I would suggest if you're going to use it as a serving tray, then you can place something, paper or a liner of any kind, over the top of it that's kind of clear, maybe even another clear plastic plate of some kind. And then that way you can just pick it up off the top and then toss it or clean it. But just use this for decorative purpose. Just doing some touch up where I thought I saw some bare spots. Here I am just adding the white chalk paint over the top of that as well. Allowed it enough time to dry. And I think honestly I should have just left it alone, and you'll see why in a little bit. Adding this white paint over the top of the black I think was just enough, but I felt like there was just not enough of that rustic feel I was looking for. So I'll explain a little bit later. But either way, I still like it. For my first try of doing it, it's something I know that I will still use because I love lemons. Next one I make, I just might do a more prominent white color and not add the black, and see how that looks. But mix and match your patterns to whatever you like. I think a royal blue would be very pretty. If you have napkins that you can decoupage over the top of these prints, would also be very pretty. So I think sky is the limit as far as what you want to do. I just wanted to try something different I've never done before. And I'm not displeased with it. It's just a different look for me altogether. So you can just see I'm using my hair dryer just to speed up the process of drying it. And then I was trying to take a little bit of the sandpaper and show a little bit of that black, but honestly I should have let it cure a little bit more, and I had not. So I was trying to cover up those spots that was showing the glass too much, and this is where too much I felt of the black came through. But you know, I could have always gone back and just added another, layer of white over the top of it too. So do as you want. It's your home for your decorating. But again, it's not bad. I like it. The look is still fine. Add some E6000 so it'll be a permanent, along with adding your Gorilla Glue. I'm just wiping the excess that fell over the top. And then that way when you stick the plate on the top, put something kind of heavy. Also, I just wanted to make sure I was getting it placed in the right centered. Flipped it over. And then I just wanted to take a quick glance to see what it was going to look like to put the basket on the top, but I wasn't done with the basket itself. So I have a small block that you can see I'm peeking right there, and just painting it white. And then I added a very large farmhouse bead that I also painted white. Now I'm adding the E6000, the Gorilla Glue, and putting it in the center for the handle for lifting. And then I am taking the bead, E6000 Gorilla Glue as well, putting over the top, And then I took, you couldn't see it from whatever reason, I think it edited out, but I added some Gorilla Glue in the center of the hole where the bead was, just to fill it in so you wouldn't see it. And then I painted over the top of it with the white paint. And I am very satisfied with the look. I think it turned out really pretty. It's rustic. You can see how you can decorate it if you want to for a little nook. Again, you can put it for a serving tray as well if you wanted to, with cookies or something like that, and you don't even have to add the top for the cloche. But I thought it was very inventful, pretty, simple, and for under $4. I hope that you enjoyed this DIY today. Please follow me over on Facebook, Pinterest, and YouTube. Thank you.